Let me tell you the plan for the day. We have got a lot of stuff to do here. I just want to make sure that you are all on the same page that I am in terms of our plan for the day. Do you have a pass today or no?
I went to the bathroom.
Okay, you need to make sure that you check in with me before you go. We're going to go over some examples. We're going to go over some homework. We're going to introduce some new things. This is all good information from yesterday and moving into today, the trig functions. That's what we're focused on today. I want to remind you that if you have not yet taken your Unit 1 retake and you are intending to do that, you need to talk to me about that as soon as possible. Like, you need to come in for Liberty Time today or make a plan otherwise, because I'm not going to do that anymore, okay? So if you haven't made arrangements with me for your Unit 1 reassessment, by the end of the day tomorrow, we're done with it. I want to put it away, move on to Unit 2, because right now you have an opportunity to make or to do retake stuff for Unit 2. I gave you this quiz back yesterday, right? So you've seen it. And I don't think I put it in, but I will put it in Power School today, okay? You need to make arrangements with me before Friday if you would like to go do a retake on that quiz, all right? FYI, also, there will be a quiz coming up over vectors and projectile motion part 2, probably Monday, maybe on Friday. Thank you so much. Okay, so just an FYI there. I am going to take a minute here to hand back retakes that people have taken. So just to make sure that you all see those, and then move on. So again, if you plan to do any sort of retakes of things that we have done already, you need to talk to me ASAP about that, okay? Don't ignore it. Don't think, oh, I'll do it at the end of the trimester, because that's not going to happen. You need to take ownership of your grade and of your learning. That is how you raise your grade if it's not where you want it to be. Okay? So, questions about that? Okay. So, yesterday, we started doing some examples of vector addition and vector problems. Would you guys please get that stuff back out? We're going to jump right in. We don't have like an opener question today because we just need to get this stuff done. Okay? You should make sure that you have an equation sheet out. If you don't know sine, cosine, and tangent, backwards, frontwards, and side out, you need to make sure that you have a calculator. Every single person has a calculator out today. Every single person has put their phone away. Those are the two things that always should happen. It's been 24 hours since you've seen this problem, so I want you to reorient yourself with this problem. A reminder that Beaker walked 4 meters north, 6 meters east, and then 12 meters south. We don't know why he went in that path, but that's where he went. A friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to take that path 4, 6, and 12, and instead of walking all of that distance, I'm going to start at my starting point, and instead I'm going to walk down this path, a straight line path. This vector that is the answer when you add up a bunch of other vectors, this vector is called the what vector? Talked about it yesterday, was it? The resultant. Okay? So the resultant is the result of adding other vectors together. So we needed to know the length of this vector. I'm just reminding you of this because we're going to do another one today that's a little bit more challenging. Okay? We found that this was 6. This length right here was 8. We may have said, oh, that's a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, just doubled, right? So that's going to be a 10-meter length. Okay? Fair warning. That's the last 3, 4, 5 triangle that you're going to see from me for a while. Okay? So you need to know how to do that. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay? And then yesterday, right before the bell rang, we even got to this idea of trig functions. I know that in this class, most of you had seen trig functions before, or that's at least the way that I saw the hands raised, but I want to make sure that all of my friends, regardless of your math so far, are familiar with this. So just a refresher that we see a right triangle. In that right triangle, we've got one right angle and we've got one angle that we're going to choose. The side that's across from that angle is the opposite. The side that's next to but not the long one is the adjacent. And the long one, you've known this forever and ever, the long side of a right triangle is called the, yeah, question?
Question about the angle. Can you
Yep.
angle at the top?
You could. So when we start to solve these problems, there will be a better choice for angle. But when you're talking about just a general right triangle, you can pick either of the non-right angles to be your angle. Does that answer the question you're asking?
Does.
Okay. So we call that thing theta. Okay. And then we've got 3 different weird functions that mathematicians have figured out are true for all of those angles or all of those triangles. Before I go there, questions. Lily, did you guys have a question? Something I can help you with? Are we doing okay? This is all kind of review, but I want to make sure it makes sense to you. So there are 3 functions, sine, cosine, and tangent. Again, you don't have to have them memorized. They all live right here on the orange sheet, okay? Top right-hand corner. So you know that that is true. You can use the funny little word if that helps you, SOHCAHTOA. In mathematics, at some point, you're going to have this in your brain, but not for me. You've got it there as well, okay? So that's what we did yesterday. We're going to do it again in just a minute, but I just want to remind you of where we were at in case you forgot from yesterday. So I chose to use this side and this side of the triangle. And so, Cara, this is the answer to that question of which angle do I want to pick? The angle that I want to pick when I'm solving these problems is always going to be the angle of the triangle that's next to the starting spot. Okay? So in this story, remember he went north, east, and then south. So I want to start from that point. And so I'm going to pick this angle here instead of the one down below.
That makes sense.
Is that okay?
I think that helped me on the homework.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So we're going to pick this angle. I'm going to use the opposite and the adjacent just because I didn't have to calculate this. Okay. In this case, it was easy, but it won't always be. So I did tangent of theta is 8 over 6. Inverse tangent is 8. Inverse tangent of 8 over 6 equals theta. And we got an angle, but I didn't write it down, I don't think. Oh, I did. It was 53 degrees. So then you're like, sweet, I'm done. Except you're not. Wah, wah. There's one more step. And that last step is to figure out 53 degrees what? So right now you've got a displacement of 10 meters at 53 degrees. 53 degrees from where? That's the problem, okay? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this on your paper, just like I'm going to do it on my paper, or on my board, okay? Take your pencil and have your pencil stuck. I love this. I discovered this earlier today that it sticks up there. It's so nice, okay? Have your pencil pointed on one of the cardinal directions, that's north, south, east, or west, okay, from the starting spot. So do that right now. So your pencil should be facing to the east. Okay, everybody do that. I want everybody to do this because it's weird and you've probably never done it before, so I want to make sure that you are doing it and you see it. So right now, I'm facing east. I am going to turn 53 degrees south from east. Are you with me there? I am turning, I'm going to do that again. So I'm facing east, and then I'm going to turn 53 degrees south of east. That's the way we write it down. 10 meters at 53 degrees south of east. That is the answer to that problem. Okay. We can't just say 53 degrees southeast because there are 2 angles that are 53 degrees. There's one right here, but there's also one right here. You see what I'm saying? Okay. There are 2 53 degrees. So you have to tell it which one. As specific as possible. Let's do another one. While on an adventure in his car, Bunsen Honeydew traveled west 6.2 kilometers, then